Shabbat Shalom. With this we begin. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. We wrap ourselves in the fringes of the talit. Do we wear a talit or choose not to? We still spiritually wrap ourselves in the blessing and obligations of the mitzvot. Therefore, it is for all of us to offer the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, banu l'shatef b'tzitzi. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes. Next week, we have a wonderful honor coming up. Julia Argenziano will join our adult member of our community by becoming bat mitzvah. And so will be preparation, will be us in parts of the service. So so that she can do, right? What? No, you don't do it. We're good for this. Atovu ohalecha Yaakov ishkerotecha Israel ani pirov chastecha avovetecha eshtachav elecha kodshecha yiratecha atovu ohalecha Yaakov ishkerotecha Israel Adonai ahavti ma'on beitecha u'mekom mishkan kvodecha ani eshtachave be'echa evrecha livnei Adonai osi atovu ohalecha Yaakov ishkenotecha Israel ani tefilati lecha Adonai et ratzon Elohim birov chasdecha aneni be'emet yishecha atovu alecha Yaakov ishkenotecha Israel.
Baruch Adonai Elohim Olam De'esani B'Tzel Elohim.
Made me in the image of God.
Baruch Adonai Olam Nibach.
Who has made me free.
Baruch Elohim Olam.
Who has made me a Jew.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Olam Ozer Yisrael Gvura.
Who girds Israel with strength.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Olam Ozer Yisrael B'Tzivah.
Crowns Israel with splendors.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Olam Asher Kisham B'Mitzvotav B'Tzivah La'asok B'Divrei Torah.
Follows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah.
Elu Divarim She'en Lahem Or Sha'adam Perotehem Ba'olam Hazeh Ka'keren Kayemet Lo Le'olam. Are the things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of arriving early for study, morning and evening, feeling gracious with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses it. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha Od Yahas. Ashrei ha'am shekach lo. Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Elohav. Happy are those who dwell in your house, they forever praise you. Happy the people who have it so. Happy the people whose God is I.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, Yomad v'dachilutei v'yamlech malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yamechon v'chayed chol Beit Yisrael. Ha'agala u'vizman karib imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach, Ve'olam ulal me'omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yiromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dikudesha. Ve'elam in kol v'chata v'yirata. Imru. Amen. Blessed, praised, honored, exalted, extolled, glorified, adored, and lauded the name of the Holy Blessed One, beyond all earthly words and songs of blessing, praise, and comfort, which we say. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamivorach Le'olam Ha'ed.
Baruch Eloheinu Yotzer or Uvorei Choshech, Oseh Shalom Uvorei et Hakol. Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha rachamim. U'tuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit. Marabu ma'asecha Adonai ulam b'chachma mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Yibarach Adonai Eloheinu al shavach ma'aseh yadecha. Va'al ma'orei or she'asita Yefarucha Selah. Or Chadash Al Sion Ta'ir, Nizke Chulanu Mehera Lo'oro. Baruch Ata Adonai Yotzer HaMorot. Ahava Rabba Avtanu Nai Kenu. Emla Gedola Vitera Ha'avor Avotenu V'imotenu. V'achuvach Lamdem Chukei Chayim. Kein Techonenu Utlamdenu.
Erinenu b'toratecha, v'tahapek libeinu b'mitzvotecha, v'yached levabeinu v'ahava u'yirah et shemecha, v'lo nevosh, v'lo nikalem, v'lo nikashel, ve'olam va'ed. Erinenu b'toratecha, v'tahapek libeinu b'mitzvotecha, v'yached levabeinu v'ahava u'yirah et shemecha. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Adonai, B'chol levav, U'b'chol nafshecha, U'b'chol me'odecha, V'hayu advarim ha'ele, Asher Anochi mitzvacha, Hayom al levavecha, V'shimantam levanecha, V'dibarta bam, V'shivtecha b'beitecha, Uv'lechtecha v'derech, Uv'shochbecha, Uv'kumecha, Uv'kshartam li'od al yedecha, V'hayu l'totafot ben einecha, Uv'chtavtam zizot beitecha, Uv'yisharecha, L'man Va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, Yetem kedoshim le'Elohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Der hotzeitiechem be'eretz Mitzrayim, L'hiot lachem le'Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai said to Moses as follows: Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringe on the corner of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe corner. That shall be your. Look at it and recall all the commandments of Adonai and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes. Tiftahu Tehillateh Adonai. Open up my lips that my mouth may declare your Baruch Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov,
Elohei Sarah,
Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mei Geula Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Chazer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor L'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol, Atah Rav Le'Hoshia, Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim B'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, Mechayeh Emunato L'Shein Yavah. You are forever mighty, Adonai. You give life to all. You sustain life through love, giving life to all through great compassion, supporting the fallen, healing the sick, freeing the captive, being faith with those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of mighty acts? Who resembles you, a sovereign who takes and gives life, causing deliverance to spring up, faithfully giving life. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Let us sanctify your name on earth as it is sanctified in the heavens above, as it is written by your promise.
Holy, holy, holy is Adonai Tzvaot. God's presence fills the whole earth. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot. Elok kol haaretz yivodo. Adir Adonai 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 Adir Shimcha b'chol haaretz. Baruch kivod Adonai imkomo. Echad Eloheinu Avinu Malkeinu Moshienu, Behuashmienu, Berachamav Leinei Kol Chai, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Loch Adonai Me'olam, Elohai Yichyon, Dor Vador, Hallelujah. Door by door,
Door by door,
door by door,
door by door,
door by door, Nagi, God lecha.
door by door,
Door by door,
door by door,
door by door, door by door, Nagi, God lecha. Ule neitzach bitzaki, Yishaticha Nagi, Yishaticha Nagi, Yishivcha Elohim. Dor Bador, Dor Bador, Nagi Dikaveta, Baruch Ata Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Yismechu Malachitecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu Malachitecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Kadeshei, Kadeshei Shvi Shabbat, Umulam Yismechu V'yitnagu Mikvecha Shabbat. Nahashvi Ratzita Bo Migrashto Shabbat. Emnat Yamim Oto Karata Shabbat. Yismechu B'malachitecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Zeicher L'masei Bereshit Shabbat. Zeicher L'masei Bereshit Shabbat. Yismechu B'malachitecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei Oneg Shabbat. It's an inside joke. I always promise the bat mitzvahs that I will never, ever throw an outside curve at them just because fair thing to do. But in fact, Julia, I couldn't resist the opportunity. So the option being as you just did, really well. Is I could give the bat mitzvah certificate when you could skip next week. I don't want to point out that she's really thinking this through. If you can, as a community, next week we will celebrate incredibly joyfully Julia's bat mitzvah. This is one young woman who, when she puts her head to it, just extraordinarily good. And next week you're going to see something really quite special. It's not the George Orwell of all animals are, special, but some are more special than others. He, uniquely, going to be with no question about it, our most recent bat mitzvah. With that, continue silent. spend a moment praying for a refuah shalema, complete and total healing for our members of the community, Doris Handel, Carol Mortman, Carol Siegel, and Nadine Wenzel. We also offer prayers to the family and friends of TPI, David Austin, Michael Becker, Darlene Brofman, Miriam Castell, Amy Connolly, David Dichter, Jeffrey Farrenbach Braitman, Mara Cooperman, Ashley McGregor, Cookie Romeo, Jason Jackson, P. Wynn II, Beverly Viv. If there are any other names to be shared, please feel free to share them. All those pain from events, natural and unnatural, of course, people need healing, be it physical, spiritual, or emotional. They all be touched and healed by the prayers of a compassionate God. Unity cares. Through great magic, our screens have changed. Why do I mention magic and screens changing? Because we are in the middle of the 10 plagues. Something that the Egyptians, who strongly believed in magic and magicians, believed was happening to them, and what they saw in the 10 plagues was the consummate magician. They saw magic. They saw chicanery. They saw all sorts of thoughts that they couldn't clarify with anything other than magic. Harry Houdini, the great magician, Jewish by the way, suggested that magic works for the most part because the observer wants and needs it to happen. They need to suspend belief. They need to go, that can't be done. But I just saw it. The proof text for me was a number of years ago. I had studied magic as a young man for a while. And years ago, about 10, I went to see David Copperfield, the consummate illusionist, which is what magicians who are really good at their craft call themselves. It's an illusion, not magic. An illusion. And I sat in the second row while he made an automobile disappear. I was in the second row. To a certain extent, I know how it's done. It was replaced with him 20 feet up in the air on a motorcycle. I was no more than 20 feet from the stage. Through the genius of today's possibilities, I didn't see the flip and the switch happen. What I did not say, however, was, wow, that can't be done, because the fact was, being 20 feet away from the edge of the stage, I saw it happen. So you can't go, that can't be done. It was done. Now let's come back. The Egyptians, who had event after event after event, and I am sure that they stood there and said, that can't be done. It did happen, and they had to explain it. They had to explain it to their vision of God on earth, Pharaoh. The problem was, Pharaoh was sitting on his throne going, that can't be done. But I see it. What's the deal? The deal is, it was one of the great challenges between deity and humanity. It was a great challenge between a God that can do things which their God could not, their gods couldn't match, and our need to believe in something. I found a book, which I'm not going to go through today, but amazing book where they took one natural event, a volcanic eruption that happened in Greece. It went on over a period of several days. It was a huge natural phenomenon, and if you follow what happens after an event like that, you get the perfect layout of a proof text of how the 10 plagues happened. I'll show you the book, Rich, because you missed that part. It's really good. If you take a volcanic eruption, what does it throw up? Iron ore, other natural elements. If you put them in water, they turn blood red. Magic or illusion? Matters it not, says the illusionist Yoda. If you have now poisoned the water, what's going to happen to the stuff that's in the water? The fish are going to die. The frogs are coming out of the water to head to land, where they, in fact, will die. Between the dead fish in the water, the frog's dead on the shore, what's that going to create? Flies, flying insects, disgusting stuff that live off of that. And if you follow it, it goes on and on and on. And there is a logical sequence to what we understand as the 10 plagues. This week's portion is the last of them. Numbers 8, 9, and 10. 8 is locusts. There is some point to that. The locusts are all coming partially to find food, which they cannot, because when the iron ore and stuff rained down, it killed everything touched. It created boils on people's skin. There is a logical sequence to everything that Egyptians said, that can't be done. But it's happening. How do I explain it? Their God must have done it because our gods can't. And Pharaoh is scared to death. The last three, however, locusts, by the billions, create something unexpected. Darkness. And it states it in the Torah. It is so dark you cannot see in front of you. What does darkness represent? Death. And what does Pharaoh say? Get rid of this. Take this death away from me. Take the locusts away from me. Number 9 was pure darkness. Well, it started with the locusts, but then it just continued. All the stuff in the sky, which had not rained down on the people. Clouded the sky, created ponderous darkness. Round 2 of what is it a metaphor of death. Number 10, the death of the firstborn. That, in fact, was something that Pharaoh wished on the other guys. It bounced back. So the question is, if number 1 is the appearance of blood, number 10 is purified, clear death, why do you need the other 8? What kind of need did God have to fill? And for whom was it being filled? Was he completely trying to devastate Pharaoh's authority to his people? Was he trying to sell himself to the Israelites to say, listen, you've been here for, I don't know, let's see what the Torah says this time. It says in Exodus 12, verse 40, that they were 430 years in Egypt. I'm going to send you home. Huh? I thought I was home. Yeah. Your ancestors went someplace else, and then they came here, and you had this sort of not so terrible, but not so great world. I'm going to send you home. I wonder how many of the biblical 600,000 said, couldn't you just leave us? Didn't you afflict us enough? You're going to send us off again? Sometimes you got to be real careful what you ask for. Pharaoh got what he wished for and got what he asked for, and more. More. So, with these last of the plagues, we are about to embark on the ultimate story of Jewish people. The Exodus is not just how can we run from Egypt, it is how can we construct and build a people. Fascinating. Fascinating how the people are created over 40 years. So, we learned two things. One, be careful what you wish for. You might get it. The worst news is it might be somebody else's who gets it because your aim stinks. The Talmud says if you see a fire engine go by, it is a sin unlike almost any in the Jewish corpus of information. It is a sin to say, "Oi, I hope it's not my house." Because you are then wishing that somebody else. That, unacceptable. Careful what you ask for and what you wish for. Next week, Julia is going to read from something called Shirat Hayam, Song of the Sea. Amazing piece of writing, of literature. And when you see it in the Torah, you will see that it's written completely different than anything else in the Torah scroll. So, you can be here. I am sure she would love to have you. Right? Julia? John, everybody we can get to come? Cool. We're going to invite the New York Mets and all of their fans to fill every seat and have them standing outside in the parking lot, waiting for you to chant Shirat Hayam, Song of the Sea. You remember, because I'm not sure they do, this is not a trick. In the middle of your Torah portion is a sentence that is a prayer that we recite in every service. You remember what that line is? Your bat mitzvah's just been moved 4 months from now. Would you like to try again? It starts with the word me. What? You say, mi chamocha? Okay, you're back to next week. The prayer that we recite every week, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, is right in the middle of Shirat Hayam. Where does many of our prayers come from in the prayer book? With that, careful what you wish for. Somebody might get it. Stop wishing that it's you that wins the lottery because your aim isn't so good, and somebody always wins it and it's never you. Beyond that, don't wish harm anybody ever. By saying, don't put it on me, parenthetically, you're wishing it on someone else. Don't. God will love you for it. Shabbat Shalom. Faith, have you any announcements? For those of you watching online who couldn't hear the announcements, at the end of the service, we will be putting on the screens Faith's home telephone number, and you can all reach out one at a time, and she will read them to you individually. Thank you. We move to conclude the service. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, l'teit gedula li'otzer bereshit, v'lo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu kimishpachot ha'adama, v'lo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yehu notesh shamayim v'yoset haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo, v'gavei meromim, Eloheinu ein od, Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato, Takatu Bitorato, Biadata Hayom Vashevota, Elivavecha, Bi Adonai, Hua Elohim, Vashamayim Nima'al, Ve'aretz, Mitachat ein od, V'ne'emar, Haya Adonai, V'melech ha'aretz, Yomahu, Vayomahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad, Ushemo Echad. On that day, Adonai will be one and God's name will be one. Remember, we remain standing. Our thoughts turn to loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days, those who died at this season in years past. Our hearts open as well to the wider circles of loss in our community, wherever grief touches the human family. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing in this year, to always. Remember, silence. We note yard sites observed during this week. Mention all those who died in years past. Yet Gadal v'yet Kadash miraba, ve'alma divrach chidutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chai echon v'yom echon v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv v'yimiru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach L'olam Ulol Meil Maya. Yet Barach V'yishtabach V'yet Ba'ar V'yet Ramam V'yet Naseh. Yet Adar V'yet Alev V'yet Alal Shmei D'Kudsha Yehu. Le'elam in Kol Birchata V'shirata. V'shbechata V'nechemata. Da'amiran Ba'oma V'miru Amen. Yehei Shalom Rabba Min. Chaim Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'miru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'miramav. Oseh Shalom Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'miru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, which we say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Bless our lives, our children, our families. Bless all of those who have lost their way. Bring peace to all who seek a world of beauty. Give blessings, God, to all these today. Amen, amen. May God bless this house with love. Amen, amen. May God bless this house. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. If you missed it, remember tomorrow here is the Treasure Coast Jewish Film Festival. It is a really quite